Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop, and happy Halloween. On today's episode, we're going to be making a scythe. We're going to interrupt just to quickly thank today's sponsor, which is Squarespace, the online website building platform that makes it incredibly easy and inexpensive for you to build your own website. Be sure to get yourself a free trial at squarespace.com/forge and 10% off your first purchase using code FORGE. Let's get back into the video. We're going to be making the Grim Reaper's scythe, and for it, I don't want to start with one piece of material. I want to start with two. I want to start with wrought iron for the body of it, and I want to do a laminated 1095 edge. So we're going to cut these pieces up, light the forge, and get forging. Well, we've ran into a good number of issues. Well, firstly, it fell in half.
That was the other piece of the wrought iron.
It broke right there. This is wrought iron from a wagon tire. We got this wagon tire way back in January when we tried to make steel from a wagon tire, from a wrought iron wagon tire. Wrought iron wagon tire, wrought iron wagon tire. We weren't able to make steel from it because it crumbled apart, and this brake line was just at the exact same point that there is a weld. A wagon tire is round, and obviously needs to be connected, and so they would have been forge welded together.
Well, right in the middle of our bar was a weld that broke, and then, as I continued working it, trying to stretch it out into enough material for our scythe, you will see we have a whole lot of delamination in the wrought iron material itself.
Which is kind of a normal thing. Wrought iron was sometimes great and sometimes bad. It depended on how well it was manufactured, how much money they wanted to spend on good material versus poor material, because obviously there are times that a wrought iron like that is perfectly fine. There are times where it's not. This is one of those times. So
it means our initial goal of doing a wraparound with wrought iron on the outside and 1095 on the inside won't be possible.
But you know what might just be possible? Might just be possible to do it with mild steel on the outside and 1095 on the inside to simulate that old school axe making technology stuff. Old school, I presume scythes in the past would have been made this way too. Wrought iron for the body, high carbon for the edge.
It's just that for us it will be mild steel for the body,
with high carbon for the edge. So I'm gonna find some steel, cut it off, throw it back in the fire, and start making a scythe again.
Let's see what we can do with this. I'm just gonna put it in the fire like this.
In other news, while that steel heats up, look at who we've got. Little 9-week-old ball of fur. New shop attack dog, as you can see. Look at what a good girl she is. Wow. Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Okay, let's get some forging done. Okie dokie, this is the first little step here. Next step for me is grinding on the inside, putting our 1095 steel in there and getting it tacked together for forge welding. While I'm working on this, Will is going to be working on the handle.
I'm going to go ahead and cut off a really long piece of hickory. We want it to be, I think the piece that we have is about a foot or so above our head, so it's like 3 feet long, roughly. And after I get that zipped off of the main board, I'm going to take a 36 grit belt to it and rip it down into a comfortable size for reaping.
Alrighty now, we got it tacked together. We're gonna throw it in the forge. I wanna get it really pretty cold, frankly, at the beginning. Oh boy, I think it's gonna explode. We're gonna bring it up to a low temperature, close it up nice and tight, get a little bit of flux on it, give it some borax. It's gonna help it stay clean, and then we're gonna smash it together. Hopefully the mild steel and the 1095 stick together very well. Right, I think we've got it stuck pretty decently. Since it is mild steel doesn't weld quite as well as other materials. I'm gonna flux it again, and we're gonna go back in the forge. Oh my lord, this thing is gonna be a monster! Holy moly! Okie dokie, ladies and gentlemen, we are forging in the bevel of this Halloween scythe, Grim Reaper scythe. Very exciting. Oh, exciting! I get it! So it's all well and dandy, right? We make this cool scythe. It's huge. It's super cool. This is a thrilling day. But we have no way to quench it. Ah, you know what? Tell me what you think of this idea, Will. Snow quench. We may have to straighten out this beautiful scythe shape a little bit more.
Well, why don't we figure out exactly how wide we can have it? We'll draw some lines and we'll just work it down until we're there.
That's very smart. 4.5. We only need that in there anyway. Oh no! Ah. Oh my goodness, this looks awesome! Okie dokie, I'm gonna clean up this transition up here using Will's little giant power hammer. Okay, let's take it easy now. That's as far as I'm good. Alrighty, this scythe is ready for normalizing cycles and a quench. So we're out of the grinding room. We have a big old rough grind on this here scythe. We're gonna be doing a torch heat treat. We haven't done one of these in a while. The reason we're doing a torch temper is we are short pressed for time because Halloween is in just a matter of a few hours and we'd love this episode to publish then. The ideal way to do this is using one of these Paragon heat treating ovens, but this will get the job done just fine for old Grim Reaper's purposes.
We're gonna slather this thing in some pine tar to seal that burning on there. It stinks so good.
Just gonna make this crank up to 425 I'm gonna do the temper in this, because this is gonna be at 400 degrees in like 3 minutes.
Get this thing in the tempering oven. Okay, we left it in there for a while. I've taken it out. I'm gonna go ahead, go into the grinding room and throw an edge on it.
Oh my goodness!
Get it on!
Let's test it!
This is a lot more difficult than you might imagine. The Grim Reaper has a difficult job. Yes!
Nice!
You took a scalper!
I love these builds.
This is up there with the hog splitter day.
Oh, should we hog split a pumpkin?
Ah! Ah! All over me!
Oh my gosh.
Your turn.
I don't want to.
It's your turn.
No! Two-handed weapon.
Oh,
Oh, that was just clean.
that was beautiful.
This has been just a ridiculously fun day. What a fun, ruffled forging to do. I hope you all have a phenomenal Halloween, and maybe you don't have something like this at your house. You might scare a lot of people away. Maybe have candy instead. I think the kids prefer that. Let's end this video thanking our sponsor, which is Squarespace. Today's sponsor has been a long-time sponsor of the show, Squarespace. They've been a long-time sponsor because they are helping me and you build phenomenal websites ourselves without needing any coding experience. First started using Squarespace years and years ago when I was offering classes and selling blacksmithing tools in the Barker Street workshop, and without Squarespace, I would have struggled to get to here. So I'm grateful for it. Squarespace is phenomenal because you can build and edit and update your website right from a browser anywhere in the world to keep it relevant and up to date. If you run into any issues, it's an all-in-one platform, so you don't have any plugins, patches, or updates to do, but you do have 24/7, 365 customer support. Having your own website is an incredibly important thing, not only if you're trying to build a business and showcase your brand to the world, but even if you're just looking for a job. Very inexpensively and with a very small amount of time, you can set your name apart from the other candidates by having a website that shows what you do. Whether you're a photographer or a graphic designer, you get to have your portfolio there. But even if you don't do that, simply having a website that lets prospective employers know about you and your skills and your talents and your interests is incredibly important. We were recently hiring here, and seeing an applicant's beautiful website really helped make sure they got a call back. You don't need to rejig anything for the websites to work beautifully on mobile. All the Squarespace themes do this perfectly for you. The best thing is you can get started building your website today with a free trial at squarespace.com/forge, and when you want to sign up, you can get 10% off your first purchase using code FORGE. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring the video. Thank you guys for coming along. See you all on the next one. Bye-bye.